The United Kingdom votes to leave the European Union on this date. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is June 23rd, 2023. It is the 174th day of the year. You got 191 days left in 2023. It's the 25th Friday in the 25th week and the third day of summer. You got 92 days left until fall. Today is National Pink Flamingo Day. Who doesn't love a good pink flamingo? My best friend had one as a hood ornament for his truck in high school. We'd cut off the head of the flamingo and placed a gremlin head from that 1980s movie. We placed a small saddle on the flamingo and put He-Man on it and glued him to it. We got pulled over twice. Each time the cop was like, I think there's got to be something wrong with this. But yeah, today is Pink Flamingo Day, and it is a holiday that is celebrated in the United States every June 23rd to acknowledge the popular lawn ornament. It became very fashionable in the 1950s, and now it's kind of this nostalgia thing. All right, let's see what else June 23rd has given us. 1611, the mutinous crew of Henry Hudson's fourth voyage sets Henry, his son, and 7 loyal crew members adrift in an open boat in what is now Hudson Bay. They are never heard from again. I love stories that start off with they were never heard from again or end with they were never heard from again. Something about that type of mystery just, I don't know what it is. It's a fascination I have. I mean, 1611, there was nobody around there except indigenous tribes and maybe some French fur traders. I don't even know if they got there by then. Did they sink, out in the middle of the Hudson Bay, or did the locals get a hold of them and kill them? Did they die from exposure? Oh, the possibilities are endless. 1868, Christopher Latham Sholes received a patent for his invention he called the typewriter. 1887, the Rocky Mountain Park Act becomes law in Canada, creating the nation's first national park, Banff National Park. 1917, in a game against the Washington Senators, Boston Red Sox pitcher Ernie Shores retires 26 batters in a row after replacing Babe Ruth, who had been ejected for punching the umpire. So when I was in high school, I read a book about Babe Ruth. It was a biography about him, and it was very much glossed over. A lot of his less than honorable moments were omitted. So Babe Ruth played professional baseball from 1914, which he joined the Red Sox after being in the minor league for the Baltimore Orioles. And he played for the Red Sox, mostly gaining fame as a pitcher until 1919 when he was sold to the New York Yankees, where he played from 1920 to 1934. And that was the end of his career pretty much. He was traded to the Boston Braves in 1935, but he barely played. He only played a handful of games and really didn't do anything major. And that was it for him. But as far as being a human being, he was a bit of a mess. He was a heavy drinker, heavy smoker, and he liked to gamble. Now, it was always said that he was an orphan, and that's why he ended up at St. Mary's Industrial School for Orphans. He was actually just a delinquent, and his parents couldn't handle him, so they sent him there. That was just one of the problems that went on in this boy's family life. His father died in a fist fight with a family member. Yeah, he was arguing with a couple of his in-laws, and a fight went out into the street, and he was knocked out unconscious and hit his head on the cement and died from a fractured skull. Babe Ruth also served time in jail for being a reckless driver. He had amassed an amazing amount of speeding tickets. It's rumored that it was over 100, but my understanding, a lot of people think it was closer to 50 speeding tickets. Along with that, he had several automobile accidents. And on June 8th, 1921, Ruth was arrested in Manhattan for speeding. He was sentenced to the rest of the day in jail. He was released 45 minutes after the start of that day's game. Ruth put on his Yankee uniform underneath his suit and sped off with a police motorcycle escort in time to play for the Yankees that day. Ruth's first wife died under mysterious circumstances. Ruth married 16-year-old Helen Woodford after his rookie season. Now, keep in mind, back in the day, 16 was perfectly legal, and he was only like a 22-year-old man at the time anyway. It's not like he was a 40-year-old guy. The couple adopted a daughter, likely born from one of Ruth's many mistresses, in 1922. Within a few years, the pair separated permanently, and on January 29th, faulty wiring sparked a fire that swept through a Watertown, Massachusetts house owned by a dentist named Edward Kinder. The killed woman mistakenly was identified as his wife, Helen Kinder, but when she turned up alive, they found out it was actually Ruth's estranged wife. Yeah, so Babe Ruth wasn't the great American hero most people believe he was. 1926, the College Board administers the first SAT exams. My SAT scores were decent, especially for a guy that I just wasn't the greatest student. I could kill it in a speech class, a history class, and even an English class. You put me down in a math class and I was lost. But my score came out pretty good. I was like 1150 or something like that. In 1984, that was a pretty good score. I mentioned this when I was working at Netflix that I got like 1150. And these people looked at me like I had, some kind of brain injury. That was now just a little above average, and back in the day, it was a pretty good score. 1947, the United States Senate follows the United States House of Representatives in overriding U.S. President Harry S. Truman's veto of the Taft-Hartley Act. If you don't know what that was, it was, in a nutshell, basically limited what unions could do as far as strikes and things like that. It also required union officers for any labor union to sign a thing that said they weren't a communist. 1969, IBM announces that effective January 1970, it will price its software and services separately from the hardware, thus creating the modern software industry. Now it's an entirely different industry. I think it was around 1989 where it was really coming into its own. 2016, the United Kingdom votes in a referendum to leave the European Union by 52% to 48%. Happening now. June 22nd, as we're recording this, they had found the Titanic tourist submersible. All lives were lost in a catastrophic implosion. I'm sure all kinds of details are going to come out about this in the coming weeks. I've been reading little snippets of people saying that this was bound to happen, things like that. I mean, it's not like they were on a yacht. They were on a submersible. There were some things that, are to be expected. It's unfortunate, but things happen like that. Premiered on June 30th, 2022, The Bear. This is a pretty good show. It's a comedy drama television series that follows a young chef from the world of fine dining as he comes home to Chicago to run his family's sandwich shop. The series was created for television by Christopher Storer. It has Lip from Shameless. If you've never seen Shameless on Showtime, it's a pretty good show. It's a little weird. It's got William H. Macy, but he played one of the brothers, Lip. His real name is Jeremy Allen White. He's pretty good in this one. He was pretty good in Shameless, but I really like the show and I only started watching it because of him. I think they're on their second season, or second season's just coming out or something like that. It's a pretty good show. Definitely watch that. Born on June 20th, 1957, Frances McDormand, actress who won an Academy Award for her role in the 1996 film Fargo, and in 2017 for the film 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Both are great movies. If you've never seen Fargo, I would suggest that. The TV show, it's okay. She was also in Almost Famous, which she played an outstanding part. Burn After Reading, Mississippi Burning, and Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Great actress. She studied at Yale University and her roommate was actress Holly Hunter. Died on June 23rd, 2011, we lost Peter Falk, actor best known to TV viewers as Detective Columbo in the series Columbo, a role that earned him 4 Emmy Awards and 1 Golden Globe. Other than TV and Columbo and all that, he was a pretty good movie actor too. He had his right eye surgically removed when he was a young man and wore a glass eye almost his entire life. He was in the movie The Princess Bride. He played the uncle or grandfather that came over to read to the sick boy, and he read the story of The Princess Bride. On the evening of June 23rd, 2011, Falk died at his longtime home on Roxbury Drive in Beverly Hills at the age of 83. His death was primarily caused by pneumonia, with complications of Alzheimer's being a secondary and underlying cause. Rob Reiner said that he was a completely unique actor and went on to say that Falk's work with Alan Arkin in The In-Laws, great movie, was one of the most brilliant comedy pairings we've seen on screen. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, and be nice to each other.